Hi everyone, welcome back to Scented Moments channel. I'm Jolima. In this video I want to talk about some of the best masculine designer fragrances in my collection, and these are definitely some of the best fragrances out there, at least in my opinion, of course. The fragrances that I will mention aren't discontinued, are readily available out there. I wanted to avoid to talk about discontinued fragrances or vintage fragrances, although I don't have much vintage fragrances to start, so I wanted to avoid that. I just want to talk about fragrances that are available out there, and I'll not be featuring them in a specific order. I know that fragrances are genderless. I already talked about that on my previous videos. For me, fragrances are just unisex. You just wear what you want to wear, what you love to wear. All depends on your taste. Because we have this preconceived idea that there are fragrances that lean more feminine or lean more masculine, depending on the notes. Masculine fragrances are more heavy, more woody, spicy fragrances, and whilst the women's fragrances are more floral, more, let's say, pretty, sweet, bubblegummy, although you have a lot of bubblegum fragrances, sweet bubblegummy fragrances in the men's aisle also, but well, it's all about marketing in the end. You just wear what you want to wear, but these are fragrances that are specifically marketed towards men and are definitely some of the best in that category. To start this video, I want to talk about the first fragrance. Oh, and I have here 12 fragrances. I don't know if I already said that. So it's 12 fragrances, and it's in the no specific order. To start with a fragrance from the house of Cartier, and it is Pasha de Cartier Parfum. Beautiful looking bottle. Pasha de Cartier Parfum is a modern barbershop scent. So this has lots of lavender. This has a cognac feel. It's a boozy impression, although boozy or any boozy accord isn't listed as an official note or accord in this fragrance, but I really get this boozy cognac feel. This also has a honeyed impression as well. It's ambery, it's sticky, sweet, still mossy, woodsy, and with a lot of lavender in the top. So great. Yes, it's more mature, gentlemanly, lasts for a very long time. After all, this is a Parfum concentration, so performance isn't an issue here. And Cartier fragrances are just incredible, high quality scents. This one is definitely one of them. It's Pasha de Cartier Parfum, starting this video. The next fragrance, it's from the house of Chanel, and this is a classic. Chanel's Egoiste. This is just out of this world. I feel that this is still underrated from the house of Chanel. Egoiste is, wow, it's so unique and so good. Very spicy, very peppery, with lots of carnation, sandalwood, just blended to perfection. Carnation, actually, it's a note that it's not used anymore in men's fragrances. And now maybe it's because when we smell carnation, we instantly think of classic fragrances, which are great. This is one of those examples. Fantastic scent. I mean, this is a winter signature scent for me. Sophisticated, elegant, refined, long-lasting. Again, it's a stunning scent. It's Egoiste from Chanel. The next fragrance here, it's also a classic from the house of Guerlain, and this fragrance, I know Guerlain, either will you consider Guerlain niche or designer brand, but this fragrance specifically, well, for the sake of this video, I will include it as a designer, and it's a classic. Again, it's Heritage, and this is the Eau de Toilette concentration, my favorite version of Heritage, the most complex, the most long-lasting version. It's definitely Heritage Eau de Toilette. I love the bottle presentation, and the scent, it's even better. So this is all about spices, patchouli and sandalwood. So great. if you are familiarized with Zino from Davidoff, if you like that fragrance, I think this is definitely a must-have. This is more sophisticated and it's more transparent, let's say, not in a watery way, but it feels more elegant, more transparent, because Davidoff Zino, it's darker, feels closed, like you are in a closed environment, if that makes sense, and this shines more. So Heritage, it's still masculine and elegant and sophisticated, gentlemanly, and it's simply amazing. I absolutely love this. This is right now my favorite men's fragrance from Guerlain. It's this one, Heritage Eau de Toilette. Next fragrance that I have here is from the house of Dior, and it is Dior Homme Parfum. Now I know that this is hard to find, but it's available. It's not discontinued. It comes now in a different bottle presentation. I mean in the higher bottle presentation, with coming in a 100 ml rather than just a 75 ml like I have here. I have yet to try the newer version, but from the reviews I already saw, the majority of them saying that it smells the same. I mean, it feels fresher in the opening, but it smells the same, it lasts the same. So I think there were no reformulations, at least not for now, which is great. And this is a masterpiece for me. This is my favorite Dior Homme version. So intoxicating, man. This is great. This is breathtaking. So you have iris, you have rose, and lots of leather. I do get a hint of sandalwood. People say that this has oud. I don't detect any oud. I feel more like sandalwood in the base, like a bit creamy sandalwood. I absolutely love this. I love the iris in here. This is dark, it's heavy, it's opulent, intoxicating. It's so good. It's Dior Homme Parfum. The next fragrance that I have here is from the house of Hermès. I love this brand. I love this fragrance. I could have mentioned more fragrances from the house of Hermès, but well, I also wanted to include just one fragrance per house. This one is one of the best. I think it's my favorite. At least right now. My favorite men's fragrance from Hermès is this one. It's Bel Ami Vetiver. Beautiful bottle presentation here. Bel Ami Vetiver, it's a modern chypre done to perfection, created by Jean-Claude Ellena. This is all about vetiver and leather, and also a bit spicy. Definitely a bit, for me, it's more cloves with vetiver. This is very mossy, this is very dry, very leathery. I love this. This is so good. I don't know why fragrance brands in the designer side of things don't create more fragrances like this. This is another masterpiece. Bel Ami Vetiver. I love the original Bel Ami, although I don't have it. I have Pure Distance M, which I consider to be a bit superior to Bel Ami, but still Bel Ami, it's fantastic and great spicy leather. This one, it's not as spicy as Bel Ami, but the vetiver here gives a drier, mossy, more rugged feel to this scent. There's no sweetness in here whatsoever. This is just incredible. This is glorious. It's Bel Ami Vetiver. Next fragrance here, it's from the house of Gucci. And I wanted to include Gucci Guilty Absolute, but that is discontinued, although still available in the online discounters, but it's discontinued, so I didn't want it to feature in this video. This one is still available, although hard to find in the perfume shops, but it's still very available in the online discounters, and it's not officially discontinued, at least not yet. And it's my favorite designer oud. It is Gucci Intense Oud. This, I really like the bottle presentation. You can see the dent of that this bottle has already. And I have over 300 fragrances, so that says a lot. This is often compared with Nasomato's Black Afghano. I don't have it. Maybe I will have just because I think it's a reference already. Black Afghano from Nasomato, I think it's a reference in perfumery. But this one, I can see the resemblance, but this is definitely more versatile, more elegant, because Nasomato, it's heavier, it's thick, dense, powerful, although this is also powerful in terms of performance, projection overall. But this feels, again, more transparent, not as dark and dense as Black Afghano. So Gucci Intense Oud, it's very intensy, very balsamic, very dry, woodsy. Of course, I really doubt that this has any real oud in here. This is not funky, not at all, but this can be challenging if you are diving into oud. Oh man, but this is so good. Wow, this is intoxicating also, but very intensy, balsamic, dry, woodsy, dark. Wow, this I think this is another masterpiece. And I think I will say the word masterpiece a lot. This could also be like a masterpiece fragrances video, which I already did actually. A part 1, I have yet to record my part 2. But this one, I think it's one of the best Gucci fragrances ever. Gucci Intense Oud, seriously. And for a designer, in terms of oud, I think this is the finest example of how you can make a mainstream, affordable oud for the masses. You know, I think this is great, fantastic. It's Gucci Intense Oud. The next fragrance here, it's from the house of Tom Ford, and I was debating if I would include like from the private blend or from the signature line, but I wanted to include this one because, well, I absolutely love this. This is a very important fragrance for me. This is a type of scent that I will always have and I will always cherish in my collection. It is Tobacco Vanille. Now, I absolutely love Tobacco Vanille. It's an iconic scent. I think it's already a classic. This was released in 2007, and this was a groundbreaking release. Nowadays, you have hundreds of fragrances that are heavily inspired in Tobacco Vanille. You have clones of this fragrance out there, but this is still my favorite. And you know that this was groundbreaking when you have then, after it's being released, you have lots of other fragrances that are heavily inspired by this scent. This has a lot of spices, tonka bean, dried fruits, tobacco, vanilla, of course. This is just so delicious, so addicting. This for me leans more into gourmand territories. It's so good, man. It's really, really good. Very long lasting. And it's very cozy also. I mean, it's very sexy in one way because of the sweetness, but because of its sweetness, it's also quite cozy and very Christmassy. This has like a Christmas, it smells like Christmas. I absolutely love this, but you can wear this fragrance through the entire year. This was a fragrance that started my niche journey, although this is not a niche fragrance, but when I tried this fragrance for the first time, that store had niche fragrances also available, and this was the first fragrance that I tried, and I was blown away, and then I started to dive into niche fragrances since then. Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford. Guess what? Masterpiece, exactly. The next fragrance here, it's from the house of Lalique, and it's one of the finest examples of how you should do a vetiver scent, and it's Encre Noire à l'extrême. It's not the original, although the original it's also amazing. The sport version also is great, but this is my favorite version. I love the bottle presentation, first of all. This is very affordable in the online discounters. In the perfume shop, this is very expensive. It's in the 90 euros mark. at least here in Portugal. But in the online discounters, you can purchase this one for less than 30 euros. So I mean, it's a steal for the quality of the fragrance, the quality of the presentation itself. This is, oh, damn, balsamic, dark, with lots of vetiver. It's very good. It has like a hint of a pininess in here, like piney, balsamic, mossy vetiver. So good. This is so good. The original Encre Noire feels more gothic, more inky. This one doesn't feel that inky nor gothic. This feels more, like I already told you, more balsamic, more piney than the original Encre Noire. This is great, especially for the price in the online discounters. I mean, the quality of this fragrance it's just out of this world. One of the finest vetivers out there. This whole line is, these three fragrances are some of the best vetiver fragrances out there, especially for the price. But even if these fragrances were more expensive in the online discounters, I think these would be still worth having because of their uniqueness, although they are compared with Sycamore from Chanel, which I actually already did a comparison video, and they do share similarities to a certain point. But I think that if you are debating between one or another, or if you want to start to dive into vetivers, I think this is a reference. The Encre Noire line, especially Encre Noire à l'extrême. The next fragrance here, it's very underrated, and it's from House of Loewe, a Spanish designer brand, and it is Loewe 7 Anonimo. Now they changed the bottle presentation. It doesn't come in this unique looking bottle. Nowadays it comes in a rectangular, like, imagine like Guerlain bottles, but it's all clear with no textures, but all clear. Imagine like a fragrance of Heritage like this bottle presentation, but saying Loewe 7, like this, but a darker bottle. But I think it's not reformulated, because I already tried a new version and it smells the same for me. So I think they just wanted to standardize their bottles of their whole collections. This incense, pepper, leather, so good, and very resinous, like myrrh. It's so good, and it's quite unique, at least it is for me. The closest fragrance that I can think of when smelling this is like Fianangui from Serge Lutens, which is now incredibly expensive. Although the original 7, smells even closer to Fianangui from Serge Lutens. This one here feels less piney, definitely more resinous, more leathery. In the incense, it's just incredible. For a designer, this is one of the best incense that I tried. It's incredible. Very masculine, dark, very seductive, very mysterious scent. It has a sweetness in here because of the myrrh / labdanum. Feels resinous, slightly gooey, sweet, not overly sweet, leathery incense with a hint of pepper. Fantastic. This is a great scent. This is an eau de parfum concentration. Yes, this is an eau de parfum concentration, and I highly advise you to check this fragrance out. It's Loewe 7 Anonimo. Next fragrance that I have here is from the house of Zadig and Voltaire, which I already did a review of, and it's one of the best date night fragrances out there. It is Zadig Voltaire. This is him, the original. Actually, the other flankers of this fragrance are quite disappointing, I must say. I think they could do better with this scent DNA, but the original is fantastic. Also, Just Rock, it's also great, because the opening of this fragrance can be a bit harsh because of the black pepper, but still, it's not worth having both, in my opinion. But still, the Just Rock, it's also great, and the rest are okay. But this is my favorite. I really do love this. This is all about black pepper with incense and sandalwood with a hint of vanilla. It's incredible. Another fantastic incense fragrance. The incense in here is even more prominent than in Loewe Anonimo, and it feels borderline niche. Because of the quality, because of the blend. This is a very unique scent. Zadig, Voltaire, this is him. It has a mild sweetness in the base because of the creamy sandalwood. This fragrance overall, it's a stunning fragrance. Highly advise you to check this fragrance out. Dark, mysterious, seductive, long lasting. Actually, I wore this when I did my trip to Germany during the winter time, and this lasted and lasted. I was very surprised because this is an eau de toilette concentration, but performance isn't an issue, at least not on my skin. This is a stunning fragrance, quite unique, high quality fragrance from a designer brand. Zadig, Voltaire, this is him. Next fragrance here, it's another classic from the house of Mugler, and it is A Men. The original A Men. Now, I already said this before. I could have included like Pure Malt or Pure Vin because I love those two fragrances, or any other fragrances from Mugler A Men. I really do love them, but they are discontinued. Very hard to find. Very expensive nowadays, and still the only fragrance that it's readily available and it's still affordable is the original A Men, and it smells divine. The first masculine gourmand fragrance, it's this one. So this has coffee, chocolate, it has like this chocolatey patchouli, cacao, earthy, dark, heavy fragrance. Maybe not the most like natural smelling scent, but I adore this one. This was another groundbreaking release when it was released back in 1996, if I'm not mistaken, and I just love this. I love the bottle presentation. I think this is also an iconic scent, and I just hope that they release other flankers, or maybe they start to do eau de parfum concentrations of their flankers, like Pure Malt eau de parfum. I would love to try that one, or Pure Vin eau de parfum. That would be amazing. But well, we will see what this brand will do in the future. But this is definitely one of the best men's designer fragrances out there. Definitely one of the best, especially if you love gourmand fragrances. And last but definitely not least, it's from house of Rochas, and it is Moustache Eau de Parfum. Beautiful looking bottle, very heavy. Also the cap is very heavy. Moustache Eau de Parfum. It's so affordable in the online discounters. I mean, I purchased this one. This is a 125 ml. Let me just confirm. Yes, this is a 125 ml, and I purchased this for 25 euros. I mean, crazy affordable. The quality, it's like Encre Noire, like Lalique qualities. This is very often compared with Tuxedo from Yves Saint Laurent. And I can see that, although I can't really remember exactly how that fragrance smells like, but from what I mildly remember, I can see that this is spicy, lots of benzoin, patchouli, and it's just to die for. If you love Heritage, although it's still different from Heritage, but if you love Heritage, if you love Zino, if you love masculine classic fragrances, this is like a modern version of that. I absolutely love this fragrance. It's dusty as well. It's rose. It has rose in here. I will not say that it's unique because it's very compared with Tuxedo from Yves Saint Laurent, but it's like a fraction of the price, and the quality, it's definitely here. Long lasting. Performance overall, it's not an issue. This is another Parfum concentration, and it's just stunning. A stunning scent. It's Moustache Eau de Parfum from Rochas. Finishing this video, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. Tell me in the comments down below, what are your favorite men's designer fragrances? What men's designer fragrances you consider to be the best out there, and what fragrances would you suggest me to try in that category? Tell me everything in the comments down below, guys, and see you in the next video. Take care. Ciao.